I'm here with the author of Financial Foreplay. I had trouble getting that out.
Everyone does.
Thanks for joining us. Tell us a little bit about the book.
Well, the book is just a very common sense, easy, practical way to understand financials. Basically, most of the business owners that I've met and through my hundreds of, travels of talking to different people, I've noticed that everyone's afraid of their financials or they just hate them. And so I thought, what I've got to do here is to help people move their business forward. I've got to make financials fun. I've got to make them easy and I've got to make it practical. And to do that, I've just created this concept of sexiness in business and relationships to tell the story.
Obviously a really, really fun concept. However, what we find with the work we do with businesswomen is that finances can be a bit of a no-go area in that I'd rather work on my marketing, my social media, and etc., and finances are left last. Tell us about the importance of women getting their head around finances.
Well, first of all, if you don't have any money, you're not running a successful business. And one of the things that I notice is everybody does want to spend money in these things. And what I'm saying is this: stop spending money on social media. I know this is controversial. Stop spending money on chasing customers. Learn how to unlock the insights in your financials and learn how to make more money that way. I mean, essentially is this. If you've got a cash flow issue in your business, there's no point chasing customers. You're actually hurting yourself financially by doing that. So what I'm advocating is take a look and figure out where have you gone wrong. Perhaps you have stale or old inventory that you need to get rid of. That's a good way to get cash flow in. Another good way is to collect your debt. None of us likes to ask for money. I love asking for money because that money, when it comes in, it goes straight in your back pocket. Another way might be, don't waste money buying a vehicle that you don't need. Regardless of whether the government says you get a 50% tax rebate, if you do not have cash flow in your business and you don't need that asset to produce income in your business, you shouldn't be buying it. So just simple things like that. You could actually save money and then you'd have more money to advertise and to do all these things that you want to do that are fun. And I think financials are fun because having money is fun.
It's lots of fun. Well, now, one of the things you spoke about was collecting money. And I know that some women are notoriously bad at collecting their debt. A couple of tips, perhaps, for getting the money in.
Well, one of the ways is not to have debt in the first place. So I just happen to work with a lot of people who are graphic designers, tradesmen, that sort of thing. And a lot of them have got these debts that stretch out to 90 days because they're afraid to go ask people for the money. And so I say, well, let's do something crazy. Let's get an FPOS machine. And when you actually complete that work, you just say, will that be Visa, MasterCard, Amex, or debit? And you take the money right then and there. There is no invoicing. There is no debt collection. So that's one way. Another could be just following up. Like, I think people pay people they like. This is a tip because people will say to me, how come when I send my emails and I send my faxes, nobody pays money? Get on the telephone. Call people. People don't want to, feel bad that you've called them 5 times in a row and they've agreed to pay you and then they haven't done it.
It's that squeaky wheel.
Great. You just get in there and start, doing that with people. So that's another way. And another way could just be offering a simple discount, but being really smart about it. One of the things that I'm really clear about in the book is that don't just go saying, if you pay early, you get 2% off or 3% off. Calculate what that means to your business financially before you offer it. Because sometimes it's actually not good for you, the business owner. But that's one good way to get people to pay you is people will take up those discounts. Surprisingly, people are very good at taking those up.
The book is Financial Foreplay. There, I managed to say it in one. Rhondalynn, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure. Next time I'm going to bring the whip, and I bet you get it right the first time.
I bet I do. Thank you.